South Africa's President Cyril Ramaposa has cut short his visit to Britain due to violent protests back home. Demonstrations first broke out in Mahikeng in the northwest province on Wednesday, but by Thursday had turned violent. A bus has been torched, vehicles stoned and roads blocked with burning tyres. Residents are calling for the removal of Northwest Premier Soo-pra Ma-huma-peh-lo. They claim he's corrupt. Protesters are also seeking jobs, better housing, improved roads and hospitals. President Ramaphosa has called a meeting between the ruling African National Congress in the province and its alliance members. The president has also called for calm.
The situation in Mahikeng has turned deadly, so much so that the South African President, Cyril Ramaphosa, cut short his visit to attend the Commonwealth Heads of State meeting in the UK and flew back to South Africa in the early hours of Friday morning. He's travelling to the Northwest Province and its capital, in fact, to give a helping hand, as his office put it. Ramaphosa and his senior ANC colleagues will spend Friday afternoon locked in meetings with local ANC leaders to find a solution. It's unclear whether Ramaphosa has arrived in the city yet or not. The riots claimed their first victim on Thursday when a resident crashed his car attempting to avoid the police in the area. Meanwhile, the Botswana border post near the town has also been closed as a precaution. Overnight looting and arson attacks continued, and the CBD remained under lockdown. The authorities have their hands full trying to stop rioters from blocking roads with burning barricades. They've resorted to rubber bullets and tear gas to disperse the looters and rioters there. I'm Angelo Coppola for CGTN.
Well, joining me now from Johannesburg is political analyst Itumeleng Magetla. Thank you very much for joining us. What are the underlying factors that have triggered the protests in the Northwest Province?
Hi, hello, thank you for having me. I've been expecting this sort of riots to happen even before. For the past 2 or 3 years or so, there has been quite a big force that has been calling for the Premier to step down. But Premier Ma-huma-peh-lo has been one of the former President Jacob Zuma's henchmen. And it's literally just party politics that are at play, trying to sort of keep the part of the previous support that has even perhaps voted against Cyril Ramaposa in his bid to become president as well. So it is literally just ANC party politics, those that lost the elections seemingly not satisfied with the outcome, and those that are incumbent trying to push with everything they have, saying this guy must step down, quoting that he's a corrupt man. The reports that we've been seeing for the past couple of weeks is that his son has been given lots of money for studying, in excess of R1 million, while the area in itself is literally overdrawn by poverty. So it's mainly party politics that are bubbling up.
So mainly party politics, but also accusations of corruption, as you say. What is the significance of President Ramaphosa cutting short his UK visit to deal with the protests?
Karen, the fact that President Ramaphosa has had to cut his trip to the UK, the Commonwealth meeting, Heads of State meeting in London, is just indicative of the fact that this is really such a crisis that is busy unfolding in front of our eyes. The last time I can remember about something like this was in 1994, when Lucas Mangope was being taken off the seat of the president there of Botswana, and we haven't seen anything like that. But you know, when one goes to that region, and also some small towns around, even in other provinces, it is very clear that the places have actually been run down. The people have literally suffered for the past 9 years or so during the tenure of President Jacob Zuma. So this is literally just chickens coming back to roost.
And are these demonstrations affecting the safety and the business interests of foreigners in that region as well?
Certainly so. I would certainly say so, because the looting of the foreign-owned shops, which is also another thing that is a sore point, because I mean, since 1994, we've seen an influx of foreign business that is literally running the place. But I would say that the country that's being most affected by this is Botswana, given the proximity of the Northwest and itself. So the business will definitely be affected. The movement of goods from South Africa to Botswana, we know that Botswana depends heavily on South African goods and services as well. So you know, the longer this crisis continues, there's lots of businesses, international businesses, particularly between Botswana and South Africa, that is going to be affected. So it is really just a ghastly situation to see out playing.
And finally, Ramaposa is set to hold talks with ANC leaders in Mahikeng in the next hour or so. What, in your view, is the best way of dealing with this unrest?
Ramaposa has been very diplomatic. He's been very diplomatic since he assumed the seat of the presidency of the country, in terms of getting rid of some unsavory characters within the cabinet, and also some premiers as well. So his approach has helped a great deal in terms of diffusing the situation. Also because the fact that he has not gotten an outright majority when he was elected, when he won against the former president's ex-wife, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, he got a marginal win against him. So the mandate that he got does not really allow him to take out all the people that will stifle his efforts. And we can see that he's very serious in terms of how he wants to attract the investment to South Africa. And this is just such a pity that he has to get away from an important international engagement for such a calamitous situation, Karen.
Okay, thank you very much for your analysis. That was political analyst Itumeleng Magetla there in Johannesburg.